Sunburn. No, I think it was, the thing that you always want when you take one of those trips is obviously kind of a sneak peek, try to lay the foundation, if you will. Now, with that said, we're so many new pieces to our program. It was a lot of filling out for us in terms of just what guys can do, what they need to work on. I think we have a closer basketball team in terms of cohesiveness, in terms of togetherness. You spend the 10 practices in the summer, you spend the time, be it traveling, those guys running around Atlantis doing the fun parks, those types of things. That builds something that sometimes you don't have the opportunity to build in such a short period, because you're bringing in 6 new guys, meshing with 6 guys that are coming back. I think that was one of the biggest things for us.
What can Anthony Lee give you?
Well, I hope that first and foremost it adds some size. I think that Anthony is can play a couple different positions. I think from the standpoint of him being a senior, him being a college graduate, he rebounds the ball well. He's got really a unique knack for finding the basketball, be it cutting, be it rebounding offensively, defensively. Very athletic, and I think that we'll have a kind of a source of energy at that position.
One of the mysteries of this team has been Amir. That you'll have a great game and then disappear for games, parts of games, whatever. What's the reasonable expectation for him as a senior now?
Well, as you alluded to, I think that the consistency factor is something that we're looking for from Amir. He's a tremendous kid. I know that just in the talks that we've had throughout the course of the off season, this is his last go round at it, and I don't think he wants to leave any stones unturned in terms of his play, in terms of his performance. And I'm personally expecting big things out of Amir Williams this year.
What about Sam? In what way would you like to see him maybe take his game to a even higher graduate level as a senior? What are the things you want to see him develop?
I think first and foremost, Sam has been sort of a quiet leader in this program. He comes from he's always won in terms of where he's been. I think that obviously. He's been a 8-point scorer throughout his career, on average, I guess. More of the consistency. He's had great games, and he'll follow that up where he'll do a lot of other things. But just a little bit like, and take this the right way, but a little bit like an Evan Turner going into his junior year, where I said, hey, you scored 20 in this game, and you got 12 rebounds in this game, and you got 7 assists in this game. Can we put it all together in one game? And I think that's the thing that I like to see from Sam, is just that consistent level, high level of play.
You, with losing with Quentin, your top scorer, and losing your best defensive player, Aaron, it seems as if the expectations, not that you care a whole lot about what people are thinking necessarily, but there's a lot of people who don't really, maybe the expectations aren't as high as most of the things you've had here. Do you think it's accurate?
Since you touch on it, and I don't care, I really don't know. I think it's for me, it's an interesting collection of guys. I think, in terms of the expectations, I'll be honest, I don't know if I have set in stone what I'm expecting out of this basketball team. I think that there's going to be a growth period, but with that said, we have to accelerate the growth. We have to push guys from the way we practice and the way that we implement the things that we're going to do. We tried a lot of different things this summer, and some were good, some weren't. But now, building off of that and having an understanding that, hey, it's on now, and when we get going, it's going to be nonstop and fast-paced, and as we always tell guys going into it, those that don't get on board get left behind.
One last question. Shannon said that there were times last year where you had to beg them to play. Do you really did be able to beg them to play hard?
Yeah, I think their level of playing hard and my level of playing hard at times may have been on different ends of the spectrum, opposite ends of the spectrum. I think those are things that we've talked about in the off season of we want to have this level of play, and knowing that it's like life, it's never going to go exactly the way we describe or hope that it does. But with that said, I think that there has to be an element of those late game situations where there's not the breakdowns that we had last year, just in terms of mental and physical breakdowns.
Right. Mark Loving, he got in there and kind of scratched the surface of what he could do at times last year. Just what are you looking for him going into his second year to become more of a regular member of the rotation?
Well, I think we need Mark to be the player Mark's capable of being, and alleviating the ups and downs, and if there's a game where the shot may not be going in as well as we want it to, he's still going to defend, he's still going to rebound, he's still going to make guys better, and Mark's had a tremendous off season. I think from the standpoint of where he is today and the work that he's put into this point should give him an element of confidence, and I think our guys have a lot of trust in what he can bring to the table.
What intrigues you about this team?
Well, I think, Clay, the newness of it. I think one of the intriguing factors is going to be is how quick the freshmen can adapt. And as I've told these guys, I've told you a million times, you can't create a scenario in practice that gives guys experience. I think that they're going to have ample opportunity to grow and be thrown to the fire early in the season. And how do they get knocked down? How do they get back up? I think another intriguing thing to me is what are our core senior guys going to do? They've been in this program. They've won a ton of basketball games. They've been a part of some great Ohio State memories. How important is that to them, and how important is that to them that they carry that forward?
What about Anthony Lee? What do you expect out of him?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that the thing that you love about Anthony Lee is he's a college graduate. He's been through 4 years of college, one being a red shirt, and he's played in some really, really big games. For him, this is a golden opportunity to come in. Obviously he has to fit into what we have, and the good thing there is he's a great kid. He's a very caring individual in terms of knowing, hey, Ohio State's done really well without me. How do I put my mark on the program, but do it in a way that helps everybody else?
So far, have you seen the freshmen coming in? Like, how has the transition done with them, and how has the upperclassmen kind of embraced them?
Yeah, well, I think we brought in 6 great kids, and I think 6 kids that respect what has been done before them. As I always tell the new guys, you respect your elders, but don't ever back down from them. And I've seen that. They've competed. I think each guy would tell you that they're a heck of a lot better player than they were when they got here. And that's the luxury we have now of working with them in the off season. So, now as we always tell new players, we can't describe the intensity, the pace, and the speed that we go at day after day after day. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that.